All right, we're ready for the sheriff.
All right.
He really had nowhere to go but up, didn't he?
He's got 15 minutes, right?
This is it for this morning.
Well, maybe 16.
16 minutes?
Well, I think I can still say good morning, right? We're still,
Technically, yeah.
Welcome.
You know everybody, Chief Lisa Spriggs, and then our Finance Director, Mary Hope. And in the interest of brevity, I'm going to try to do something that I've never done before. I take clues from my county commissioners, and many of you have independently said, hey, let's try to move it along, right? But we do have 53 slides that are part of this presentation deck that we will make publicly available on our website. Each of you have that, and I think as a precursor to this presentation, I think we have 10 or 12 hours of independent meetings with each of you and Darren and county staff as well. So what I'll do is I'll speak about the budget first, talk about the high level, like an executive summary of what the budget includes, and then provide an opportunity to answer any questions.
Great, thank you.
It's a 6% increase overall to our budget. On our transmittal sheet, I have at least the 8 years that I have been sheriff to look at what our ask has been in compared to the tax increase of the county. I think when you look at that, we have always gone in lower than what any growth of ad valorem or county taxes are. We don't do that as a general practice or procedure. It's just important to us to be proportionate to whatever growth the county is experiencing as well. It's not the mathematical equation that we use when we do asks at all. Our overall budget consists of nearly $70 million of responsibilities that you charge us to do on behalf of the county. Again, $175 million budget, all in with grants and other revenues, probably $193 million, but about $70 million of that is, again, responsibilities, particularly $63 million of that is running the correctional facility on the county's behalf. And we're grateful to always have been able to do that. It's collaborative, it's great chemistry, and I think that we all agree that during somebody's incarceration is a time to kind of fix whatever's broken. The overwhelming majority of our budget is personnel. 83% of our budget is people, 1,430 or so employees within the agency, and that is the big lift that we have. That increase is 5%. The 5% includes a 2% adjustment to the base starting pay of our members to include deputy sheriffs. That moves us to $53,000 for starting pay, which is in the middle market value of Seminole County criminal justice and policing agencies there. It also includes a 5% adjustment across the board for all employees who are not yet topped out, and an increase of 6% to the top out pay of the people who are currently at that max pay level within their pay grade. Again, totaling 2% adjustment to the base, 2% adjustment for compression, 5% across the board. In plain language, that's a 7% for people who are not yet topped out, a 6% increase to the top of the pay scale. And again, it puts us right in the middle of Seminole County policing agencies and consistent to what we've done. There's only 4 additional FTEs that are being requested during this budget cycle, and I'd like just to take a couple of moments to explain those. Well, before I do that, the capital is an increase, same increase that you're seeing as well, 25% or so increase in the cost of vehicles, inflation, and then a lot of that is the cost of technology, particularly cloud storage when it comes to technology solutions. Again, same on your side as well. The 4 positions that we have, 2 of them are to support our Sheriff's Office Police Academy, and I'll spend a moment talking about that in a moment. The other 2 positions are actually converting contractual IT positions. We call them information technology positions that have been contracted out as temp employees. We're going to actually bring them on full-time. So 2 additional positions there. There'll be a cost savings when we no longer have to contract those services out, and it's a good opportunity for us to actually give somebody a trial run to see if they're a good fit for the organization, and they have the skill set before we make that formal offer of employment. 2 positions are there. The other 2 positions are 2 deputy sheriff positions to support our sheriff's office police academy. I'd like to spend, again, a little bit of time talking about this because it's come up time and time again, and there's some questions about it. For the record, we have a fabulous, wonderful working relationship with Seminole State College. The people over there are our friends. We promote their academy. We promote advanced training. We send our deputy sheriffs to their advanced training schools. We think that they do a good job. We're making this move because there are benefits that extend beyond fiscal benefits of training our own folks. Once upon a time, academies across the state of Florida would find people who had an interest in criminal justice and try to pave a path to make them more marketable and considerable for employment, meaning that they would go through an academy before they ever ended up at our office for an interview. That has almost exclusively changed. The people who we send to the academy now is indeed, we send them to the academy. They become members of the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. We send them then to the academy to get certified, and they come back and we hire them, and then we put them through field training. That's when we start to orientate them into the ways that we do business. We feel that running our own academy can help indoctrinate people from the onset to do policing services the way that the Seminole County Sheriff's Office does that, to make sure that all documentation, it is through our unique documentation system that our folks in IT create, and they start to use our terminology, particularly radio codes and signals, because to many surprise, that one of the top 2 disqualifiers for somebody that goes through the 4-month-long field training process is they have a difficult time learning our software packages, and they have a lot of difficulty communicating the way that police officers and deputy sheriffs communicate. So this would be all incorporated in our academy. We believe that we can save nearly $11,000 per candidate by running them through our own practice and procedure, and we feel that we can eliminate anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks of the field training process and orientating as a part of that. So this is something that we have started now for the past 6 or 7 months. FDLE has come in and looked at our facilities, looked at our partnership with Seminole State College, and has given us an initial blessing. It is not unique to Seminole County. There are many counties that are actually moving down this path as well. And again, that is, it's going to take about 5 positions in order to do that. The top 3 positions have been positions that have been repurposed. We had retirement of 2 lieutenants, and what we did was we took those lieutenants' commands and then combined them with other middle-level management positions within the organization, and ultimately made those positions obsolete, gave other lieutenants more responsibility. We also took a support position from our Department of Corrections and converted that for a total of 3 positions to help support the 5 positions needed to run the academy. The additional ask is for the 2 additional FTEs. The majority of the cost for those will be offset with the cost savings of $11,000 per recruit, and the cost saving of not having to put somebody through the 4 to 6 weeks onset of field training. So that's a big part of what this request is here. Again, we have each slide that breaks down our number of people, our positions, our organizational breakdown. That's those 50-plus slides that go from division to division to section. Our general philosophy has been and will always be to try to each and every year modernize our roles, see what positions that have become obsolete, see if we can use technology to replace those positions or to repurpose positions, which brings me to the last point that we've done. All of you have been incredibly and vocally and actively involved with the work that we've done with addressing mental health and substance use disorder. And for that, our team is incredibly grateful. You have used your voice and your positions to help support that. Darren Gray has been just a phenomenal county manager. I'm grateful for your your advocacy and your service and your partnership, quite frankly. And the conversations and partnership with Advent Health have been now shifted from us to the county manager and his staff. He's taking the lead on any conversations moving forward. We knew that there was money set aside with the ARPA that you were kind enough to provide, the $9 million to get us up and going. We overstepped our position initially on that, and I've apologized for that and kind of backed that out a little bit and talked to the county manager, so he and his team are taking the lead with us as partners in that space. I think when we looked at as a qualifying county, the settlement money that was there, of course, there is no guarantee. There's still concerns of bankruptcies. I think that the conversation now is conversations centered around sustainability, which was what many of the commissioners had asked for. And I think it's an incredibly important topic of conversation, quite frankly, one that we had not had before you asked the question. So I think that that's kind of where it's at now. Part of our request is counting on continued funding from the opioid settlement money to support our SCORE team. That's the wraparound services. Broadly, we are experiencing great success in Seminole County when other areas are not experiencing similar success. 3 points that I want to place. There's about a 30% reduction in overdoses and poisonings in Seminole County, about a 30% reduction. That's pretty significant. The volume of number is still a large volume, but 30% reduction of anything is a pretty good benchmark that what we're doing is working. Two, there's about a 22% reduction in fatalities. I think that the reduction of fatalities is a combination of things, is we're getting people access through our partnership with Advent Health of medical-based treatment therapy combined with cognitive behavioral therapy, as well as greater access to the life-saving drug naloxone. We've seen a shift in public safety professionals, both fire and police, doing about 25% less deployments of naloxone, when there's about a 25% increase in everyday average citizens actually deploying the life-saving drug. So with that, that's kind of a high-level overview of an executive summary of what our ask is. It's an overall 6% ask, and I've broken it down to those things. We can go through the slides if you like, or I can try to answer questions, whatever your preference is, Chairman.
Sure. Thank you very much, Sheriff, for your willingness to expedite this. And you are correct. We've seen the slides. Your staff has been very gracious. I know in my office have spent a great deal of time and kept us updated, including the latest update this past week from Ms. Spriggs. Congratulations on your reelection, number one.
Thank you.
Number two, I really am thrilled about this academy idea from the standpoint of, we all know, unfortunately, what young men and women are seeing in the news media and have, for those reasons, often chosen not to go down a path of public safety. And I think with you and your own academy working with Seminole State, I think we do have a way to have a paradigm shift in getting those recruits acclimated, so we don't have them go through a training, then all of a sudden they just say, well, you know what, I'm going to go be a carpenter instead, or I'm going to go be an attorney, or whatever the case might be. So I applaud you for taking that on and building those efficiencies, as well as being able to have those efficiencies and fast-tracking the whole process. I think that's a great attribute. So with that, again, thank you very much. I will start at the far end with Commissioner Constantine. We'll come back this way this time.
Okay, thank you very much. And Sheriff, again, congratulations to you and all your staff, and congratulations on being reelected. I asked Sheriff Spriggs to break down into silos the academy, and I did receive that, and I think she did send it to all the other commissioners. So I just wanted to, and then subsequent to that, I had a conversation with the president of Seminole State College, which all of us, work with very well also, and it seems that some of the concerns have been smoothed over since our first conversation. I guess the question I would have here is, in the direct academy costs, there is like an academy upstart cost of $225,000, but the budget impact indicates that it's only 25,000, and I was just wondering where the difference comes from in that.
I could start at the top, and then Lisa can kind of dig in. I think the calculations that she worked in were real cost on both sides, what it would actually cost if we were not supplementing and benefiting from the $11,000 savings per member, and then some of the costs. I don't know if it was calculated in the cost of eliminating some of the initial weeks of field training that goes along with getting somebody orientated. It's really not even training, it's orientated to the organization and all that goes on. But I'll defer to Lisa, who prepared those numbers.
Yeah, so specific to the direct costs that were startup, the $200,000 difference is related to vehicles. So we would be purchasing new vehicles, but we would also be able to retain some of the vehicles on our replacement schedule. So budgetary impact, we would have already been buying new vehicles to begin with. So it doesn't, we would just not sell the vehicles needed to run the academy, if that makes sense.
And Chief, thank you for that, because that was the
Because
only
you
one that
asked
was.
for full cost.
Yes.
Like regardless of budget impact. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I
So that's-
appreciate it. And that's what I'm saying. I could understand the redirection of the positions. I got the total staffing and the supplies, which are, there. The ROI reflecting the shorter period of time in their use and the reduction per student cost. I got all that, but the Academy Upstart, there wasn't any specifics in there, so I just wanted to make sure that I understood that. And I want to, because I did want the fellow commissioners, did you send it to them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All right, thank you very much.
Send it to me one more time. Okay.
And that's it. Thank you.
Commissioner Lockhart.
It's entirely possible that it's sitting in my inbox, down at the bottom. I don't recall having seen that. Thank you, Sheriff, as always, for the great work that you do. I know you've got a lot of responsibility with your entire team, and it's you. And I'm not saying this to be a negative in any way, shape, or form, but you make up such a huge portion of our budget, not for any other reason other than it is probably one of the most important things that county government funds is safety between you and our fire and EMS and our emergency management. I mean, that's pretty much why that's the primary focus for us being here. So I don't begrudge you taking that portion of the budget. It just will seem odd that we have spent so much time this morning talking about the smallest parts of our budget, and yet I don't feel compelled to dissect as much what it is that you're doing here. The Academy, of course, is something new that you're endeavoring on. I congratulate you for taking those steps. I do feel that as a trustee at Seminole State, I should comment and say that the college is fully committed to making sure that the programs that we are offering our community, not just Seminole County, but surrounding agencies who utilize our academy are top-notch, and we are committed to making sure that we continue to provide and further provide the customer service-oriented delivery of instruction that we know our agencies need. And so I will personally make that commitment to you and the other agencies moving forward.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. And again, I'm grateful for that relationship with Seminole State and quite frankly, the commissioners. This is probably one of the most important things that we do at the Sheriff's Office each and every year. And to make sure that we're putting the safety of the citizens first is so incredibly important. And to the point of the college, I mean, they've got wonderful programs that are out there. My son is a student at Seminole State College, and we still plan to hire additional people from the academy that is being run by Seminole State College. I think I've said it before, and I haven't said it during this presentation, but we're experiencing about 5 times the turnover rate as what we did 20 years ago. And I think that as we continue to incentivize people from across the country to relocate to the great free state of Florida, more and more people are going to be picking up their policing professions here.
Just a quick follow-up on that. I part of this three-legged stool that I feel like I'm sitting on as a commissioner and a trustee, and of course, helping to support the sheriff with his budget, is that we have the assets of the firing range and the driving track, that we have a lease agreement with the college, and it is probably time for us to modernize that agreement. And so I'll be looking forward to the county manager's team working with the college and all of the agencies who utilize that team, making those facilities, making sure that the agreement really reflects what it is that the needs are today. I've had some detailed conversations with the sheriff and some of his team members, as well as Dr. Lorenz and some of our team members, and it just seems like, we're trying very hard to live by the black and white words of that agreement, but some of it just doesn't make sense anymore. So as a part of this change, this implementation of this new academy, that might be the perfect opportunity for us to look at that.
Commissioner Delory.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, Sheriff, thank you for being here, and thank you for the budget that you're presenting, but more importantly, thanking you and your staff for all your hard work that you do day in and day out, day after day, to keeping this county where it is from a safety standpoint. You are the chief law enforcement agency of this officer of the county, and it's a big burden, so thank you for all that. I want to thank your staff for their hard work. And yes, we're not going deep into your budget right here, but I can assure the public that I have met with you personally and Ms. Spriggs for 2.5 hours to go over your budget, and we went over every line item. So thank you for making the time for me and explaining the budget in great detail for me. I think as we move forward, I see nothing but great things as we move forward with the Sheriff's Department. I also would echo the sentiments that fellow board members have made by the academy that you're starting. I think it's very important to get more and more officers out on the street and to try to train them most effectively and quickly as possible. So thank you for your leadership with that. When it comes to mental health and opioids, you're recognized not just locally, but regionally and nationally. So thank you for that as well. And Mr. Chairman, I have no other comments. Thank you.
Thank you much. Commissioner Herr.
Thank you, Chairman. Sheriff, thank you for everything that you do. I'll just start by saying I too did meet with you and Chief Spriggs and went through the budget in detail, so no need to further develop that discussion today. I appreciate the fact that your package is always put together so clearly and so thoroughly that there really is not a lot of room for questions, and that's fabulous. And then when there are questions, I actually get the answer to the specific question that I asked. So I appreciate you and your team for the work that gets done to do that. With regard to opioids, I would just voice my desire to make sure that we are as focused on prevention as we are on recovery, and we're certainly working on that through county staff. And with regard to the academy, the offer and the commitment that was made, and that echoed what Commissioner Lockhart said, is certainly echoed by Dr. Lorenz, is that whatever learnings that you have through your own academy get brought back for best practices to the academy that supports the other agencies that keep our citizens safe. I think we can rise the tide for all of the boats, and I think there's a great opportunity here. I'm a big fan of competition, and while we're not competing because we're government, but you may learn some things and be able to share things that they don't have the ability to view from their perspective in the universe. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your team. And Chief Spriggs, I'll get your title right. We appreciate you and your team. Certainly, Mary, we all love you. Not that we don't love the rest of you. That didn't come out right. I'll pass it back to the chairman.
Well, in wrapping up, on behalf of all the citizens of Seminole County, thank you for your watchful eye over the men and women in law enforcement under your command. and their watchful eye on our community. And we often forget to thank each and every one of you for some of the quality of life we enjoy here in Seminole County because of the collaboration we have with our law enforcement partners, as well as your oversight and way of managing police in a community, I think speaks volumes. So thank you on behalf of all the citizens, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Well, thank you all. I'm sorry.
Well, I found it. It's in the paper copy, so thank you. No need to email it. It's right here.
I say it a lot when I'm speaking, and this is a good opportunity for me just to kind of end on this, is nothing that we do would be capable without your support, collaboration. You are truly people who support public safety in our community. You've not only said that with your mouth, you've done that with your actions. And if the public knew the amount of hours that you spent on the phone with me and our team plugged in on incredibly important issues to
Right.
those people making the calls, everything from code enforcement to crimes, and the work that you have created here in Seminole County is indeed nationally recognized with trying to get people the help to recover, the political capital to create new laws to hold drug dealers accountable. And I think that that we're just getting started. And I'm thankful to the county manager to continue to allow us to play a significant role in that process, and thankful for all of you for your leadership of our county. So thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Y'all have a good day. Okay.